A new day has started with some unexpected soft light from all the wildfires. Join me as we charter boats and search on land to see some of Canada's largest predators. Sit back and relax like sea otters, because I got some video and photographs to share. If you're new to this channel, my name is Shannon and I'm a full-time photographer in beautiful British Columbia. From soaring mountains to hidden waterfalls and elusive wildlife to stunning sunsets, I'm excited to film each step of the way. Whether you're here to learn, be inspired, or simply enjoy some stunning visuals, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this.
Hi everyone, I'm on a boat. Take a look at the water. I'm heading deep into the mountains to find and photograph grizzly bears. With this smoke from all the wildfires, it's a really nice soft diffused light.
Before we got to our destination by boat, we saw 3 grizzlies in a nearby estuary. The tide was low, so we couldn't get too close, but what was amazing is a helicopter flew over them and it didn't even faze them. With limited access, the best shots are environmental photographs. Here are a few other environmental shots from other trips. The great thing about these trips is that you learn so much about the bear species, the First Nations territory and their culture, as well as the life cycle of salmon and berry season, giving these huge animals all the calories they need for the winter nap.
The estuary up there, but we're gonna go deep up into the woods where we're gonna hopefully see some grizzlies. Ewan, say hello. It's always nice to have a trusty biologist nearby.
Biggest one I like to watch, the eyes. The eyes will be the telltale, because they don't always do this.
We're just arriving at our first hour. Now it's time for us to be really quiet. I'm using this as a monopole. Now the grizzlies know the sound of the bus, but the sound of laughter in different conversations can be distracting and spook a grizzly who wants to hunt salmon. Right there. Depending on the tower. We're not super high up. It is the beginning of the season and there are a lot of salmon in the river, so we wait quietly for the bears to approach. I like photographing the back of bare feet when they walk away. We're just leaving. We saw the bear and it's heading downriver. A kingfisher was present as well as a turkey vulture, which are great signs of food in the area. It's always great when you spot eagles too. The second grizzly that showed up was a 22-year-old male. He was looking very thin, and I used this time to focus on video movements instead of taking photographs. When photographing grizzlies from the side, I enjoy capturing the legs spread out in a movement action, spreading the size and the weight of the animal in the scene. Here are a few photographs in previous years taken at this river location. Since this grizzly was pretty thin, I concentrated on the paws and the claws. You don't need the whole grizzly in frame to show the viewer what you are filming and photographing, and I think it's more engaging if you can get this unique angle. Now I'm filming and photographing from the platform, which is where you can get some cool angles and perspectives, especially if the bears are swimming in the water. Since this wasn't my own photography workshop, but a random group viewing the bears, we stayed on the viewing platform during this shoot. After a fun morning of photographing grizzly bears, we headed back to the boat, grabbed some food, and on our trip back to Vancouver Island, we stopped at a beautiful waterfall cascading down from the mountains above. Now, just as we were calling it a day, we spotted some orcas along the coast of another island. Just saw some killer whales. Now we're heading on.
So that's it. We wrapped up today's big adventure. We saw 3 grizzlies in one of the estuaries playing in the flowers, probably just eating sedge grass, digging things up. So it was pretty cool. And then we went up to the river, saw 2 other grizzlies. Short-lived, it was just quick, but it's wildlife, you have to be patient. The fish are coming up the river and not spawning yet, and I think that'll trigger a lot more action up that way. But now we're on to our next adventure.
Now our next adventure started off by looking for some black bears at low tide. With no luck, we decided to go to the local airport to ask a few questions about the area, since pilots can have the best perspective on hot locations. I noticed this really cool float plane outside, and the next thing I knew, we were getting a tour of it.
That were so it comes down swings down 90 degrees. This is the pivot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This guy right here talking to us, this is Riley, and he is the pilot of this beautiful seaplane. Riley told us about the locations he could take us if we were interested in going on future photography adventures. I believe it seats 9, which would be a really cool group if we wanted to do a photography workshop in the future, using this plane to get to our location. Now, after we got all of our info, we headed back to our campground to go ahead and set up for the night. Now, just as we parked, I noticed out along the shoreline a gray heron catching some fish. Now, I didn't take any photographs because I'm quite a ways away, but through the Z9, I can capture some really high resolution video shooting 8K or 6K and crop it in. Now, the fishing was so great for this heron that the eagles and nearby kingfishers were also taking notice. Now, just as I was about to make my move to get closer, this kayaker came in, and that was the last I seen of this gray heron. But that was okay because it was getting late, and I needed to get some shut-eye before tomorrow's big day. It's been a long day. I am cozy in my tent. There is a thunderstorm that is rumbling through, which is pretty cool. Alright, I'm tired. I am gonna go to bed. Bye.
Hi everyone, we made it to Alert Bay and had a really nice walk through the woods, through the forest, some old growth, and there's been a lot of berries along the trail, so pretty fun. There might be some nice little macro shots, but the main agenda is this right here. Tomorrow we've got a full moon. It's actually a full super blue moon. And wow, it's my first time being here. Looks awesome. So let's take a look. Maybe there's some really nice compositions. And hopefully we get a clear sky for some moon shots. So let's get looking and see what we can see. Trying to get to the other side of this. I feel like is it clearing up at all? So we're trying to get to the other side of that swamp where all the trees are, so that where the moon is going to be, we can actually photograph the trees in front of it. And this area of the trail is so overgrown. It's a small trail here. So this is what Vancouver Island used to be like, and all the islands around it. Actually, worse than this. Oh, it's wet. I think that's... So we're trying to get... See the trees and stuff? We were just way over there. So the full moon is supposed to come up over this way. And there might be some opportunities to photograph with the trees as subjects and the moon. Wow, it's just gone completely. A lot of berries. Look at all these berries. Perfect for making a pie. Wow. Okay. Not sure what to think. That is pretty tight going. This has grown up a lot. And what are the chances that it's going to be like, this is just the trail, not mentioning the actual view of it being open. I'll let you know what we do in a second.
We gave up on the trail and we went to get some food. Now this sushi restaurant was from another day, but I wanted to include it since it was more interesting than the sandwich I made. This restaurant had so many cool stories to tell. The piano was well used, you got this really cool fireplace, and they still had their Christmas tree up. And the food was glorious.
I'm gonna go to bed. Morning, everyone. It is 6:29. We've got 7 minutes until sunrise. Heading back through the woods where we went scoping yesterday with the big trees and the beautiful swamp area with the peat moss, tons of berries everywhere. And here we are. What I'm hoping for is that there's sections up in the sky where the sunlight will glow these little pockets here. Pink, some oranges. Yep, you can just start seeing some pink up in the sky over here. So I'm gonna get set up. This right here looks just epic. I took some photos here yesterday evening. Maybe that's my best bet. You can see the sky just opening up. So maybe I'll take this shot right here where the sky is just looking awesome. So let's do a little bit of a walk through here, kind of my process. This pathway kind of goes through, but there's enough breathing room between this main tree, this feature tree that I want with the sky, and this tree to the left. So this is kind of my setup here. Now I am pointing up into the sky, which is going to give me some distortion. So in post, I will correct the distortion. I am going to lose some pixels on the side, but I want a tripod and I can slow things down and I can close down the aperture to make sure that I get everything in focus. Some of my shots, I really like getting either low or shooting between things where the foreground is kind of blurred and the subject kind of pops off in the background. Because having everything from foreground to background tack sharp can be distracting if you have a lot of elements in there. This, it doesn't bother me because there's a lot of the shot that I have, I want the boardwalk to be in focus all the way to the branches in the back. We do have to be out on the boat in 45 minutes, which means we have to hike back. So hopefully everything happens in the next few minutes. You can start seeing things lighting up here. Hopefully we can get some cool shots. I'll show you. Beautiful, beautiful light. And I was just shooting over there. You can see all the popcorn in the sky. Lovely. We are heading back. We got the best of the clouds and the light, I think. And we're off to get on the ocean. Hopefully see some whales. Whatever we can find, really. Sea otters, orcas, maybe even a black bear or something along the shoreline. We shall see. But if you like this content so far, give me that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. All right, see you on the boat. Look at this. Got my cotton carrier. And look, I can even put my phone into here. Takes my iPhone shots. Got my camera gear packed up, all in one bag. I brought my 500 prime f4 20mm prime that I got on my Sony. And last but not least, I got a 70-200 2.8 lens, and that's mostly for whales if they get really close, or any wildlife for that matter. But the white-sided dolphins tend to get really close to the boat at times, and I can't shoot that with a 500. It's just too much. So I've got a 70-200 to take care of that. I'm excited. Beautiful day. Sun's out. There's some clouds in the sky, so it's not completely blue sky, which is nice. And we're about to jump on the boat, so.
Now, if you're ever out on the north end of Vancouver Island and you want to go out with a whale watching company, check out Sea Smoke Whale Watching. The owners are super awesome. They're extremely friendly and knowledgeable, making the experience one of the best I've ever had out on the water. These are Stellar sea lions, and there's also California sea lions, and they are always fun to watch and photograph. I mostly grabbed video during this trip, but here are a few other shots from previous trips. Now, can you guess what these are? They can swim up to 55 kilometers an hour, or 35 miles an hour, and they look similar to orcas but a lot smaller. This is the Dall's porpoise, and it was really exciting to see a group of 6 hunting in the waters around us.
We just seen sea lions as well as some dolphins. We had some breaching whales earlier this morning and it was amazing. Hopefully I got some shots of it. And just up here there was a sighting of some transient orcas, killer whales.
So we arrived back at the docks after an exciting time out on the water, and I was invited to go and jump into a smaller boat to go see some local sea otters. And of course, I wasn't going to pass up on this opportunity. 50 or 60 sea otters right here, whole group of them. All males, from what I understand. All males. You got Alert Bay there off in the background. So what I'm doing is getting fairly low to the ground and shooting with a really colorful, all the buildings in the background on Alert Bay, the sea otters in front, and yeah, some really great footage. Every once in a while there'll be one or two that kind of comes off to the side and kind of get them on their own. Before that I was shooting with some of the backdrop of the tree line, which really looks west coasty and really cool how close they get to the coast. Obviously, we're not in big open ocean. There's islands all over, and then the main Vancouver Island. The male sea otter can weigh up to 70 pounds, and they have the world's densest fur, which is how they can stay warm out in these frigid cold waters. Sea otters are so cute, making all of these different expressions. I was only out there for like 20 minutes and I got so many fun little shots. I tried focusing on the background when Alert Bay was behind the sea otters so I could focus stack some images together, but because of the heat waves, all of the colorful houses were soft and wavy, as you can see in the photo.
I ran to the ferry and I made it. I made it.
Quick stop at the world's largest burrow. I can't believe someone tried burning it down.
If you like this content, please give me that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing. It's always great to see new people join the channel and join the community. And guess what? There's other videos that you can see right up here on the screen. So don't be shy. Let's connect.